What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, new YouTube video, new Pokemon guide on youtube.com, Wolfie channel. Thank you for watching. This Pokemon I'm super excited to talk about. It's one of my favorite new Pokemon, and it's really interesting from a competitive standpoint. There's a lot that can be done with it, and yeah, overall it's super cool. So today we're talking about Galarian Weezing. Before I start, I do want to just give a shout out to, I'm going to butcher this name, I'm so sorry, Lucas van Eitveld from Belgium. Lucas, actually, I reached out to him because there was a tournament hosted on r/VGC, reddit.com/, well, I don't know the actual link, but I'll link it down below. Basically, it's a community that is starting up recently, but it's already grown really big, and it's for people who want to talk about VGC and all that stuff. And they're hosting weekly tournaments. My friend Zach, aka Professor Shroomish, is hosting weekly tournaments, and Lucas here won the tournament with Galarian Weezing, which is a Pokemon that hasn't really seen much usage in the format. And what's even more impressive about this feat is that it was Lucas's first tournament. So I don't believe Lucas has a Twitter. I asked him if I could shout him out, and he just said to say his name. So I reached out to Lucas. So I want to start this video off by shouting out him and saying thank you to him for his input on this Pokemon. And it's so cool to me that somebody who had never ever entered a tournament before could win a tournament, especially with a cool Pokemon like Galarian Weezing. So I just think that's awesome, and his story is great. So anyway, let's talk about Weezing. So Weezing has three. Let me zoom in a little bit. I know you guys like that. We're zooming in big. Weezing has three really good abilities. The first being Levitate, making it immune to ground-type moves. The second, and the most interesting one in my opinion, is Neutralizing Gas, which eliminates all abilities from play, which is really cool. So basically, as long as Weezing is on the field, no Pokemon has any ability, which has a ton of potential. And then the last one is, oops, oh, they changed, they gave regular Weezing Neutralizing Gas. I didn't realize that. That's awesome. And then the last one for Galarian Weezing is Misty Surge. So I think I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, my Indeedee video, that each of the terrains now has a new user. Psychic Indeedee, Electric Pincurchin, Grassy not released yet, but it's going to be Rillaboom, and lastly, Weezing is the Fairy terrain, Misty terrain. So Misty terrain is really cool. It protects the user. It protects all Pokemon on the ground, not just the user. All Pokemon on the ground from status. It allows you to use Misty Seed, which is a good item, and it also halves the damage of Dragon moves. So basically, Weezing, this is a tough guide for me to make because Weezing is really not an individual Pokemon, it's a team Pokemon. So, yeah. Let's go through the moves, because it actually doesn't have terrible moves at all. Strange Team is a move unique to Weezing. It's a 90 base power special fairy move that has a 20% chance to confuse, which is really good. Default gets rid of, excuse me, Screens, Heat Wave, it has fire coverage, it actually has good coverage. I love Aromatic Mist, it's not that good, but I really love it. Clear Smog is good in certain metagames, probably not in this one, but in certain ones. Aromatherapy is interesting. Sludge Bomb, good coverage, or like you need Sludge Bomb, so we already covered Sludge Bomb and Strange Team, so it got Fairy and Poison, good stabs on both of those. Destiny Bond, situational, probably not that good. Misty Terrain, probably not that good. This is standard, we're ignoring that. And it gets it just has good moves overall. So it has Rain Dance and Sunny Day. You're probably not going to be using that, but it does have them. It has Will-O-Wisp, which is really a good move. Wonder Room is cool. Switches defense and special defense. Never really been very good, but it is cool. And then it gets Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Thunder, Fire Blast, Shadow Ball, Taunt. Taunt is a big one. Overheat as well. Gyro Ball. I don't know why I said that. And Dazzling Gleam. And then lastly, it gets Pain Split, Stockpile. Basically, it has a lot of good moves. The main weakness of Galarian Weezing and Weezing are its not great stats, a low base speed, a low base HP, attack is stronger than special attack, even though it's mostly a special attacker, bad special defense, okay physical defense, and then not great special attack. So, Weezing has really cool typing with Poison Fairy, really good abilities, but can only have one at a time, which is a weakness, and overall mediocre stats with really good move pool. So where does that leave Weezing? Like I said, Weezing is a Pokemon that really functions as a team support more than anything. So using Weezing really depends on the Pokemon you pair it with, in my opinion. That's going to be like the main thing for using Weezing is how have you used it on your team? What did you use? What did you pair with it, right? So this is the set that Lucas used. He had max HP and max special defense with 4 physical defense, and with a bold nature. So what he told me was his defense is so huge that I thought I didn't need any more investment, and so I put everything into HP and special defense. Protect for Black Sludge recovery, and it's good in VGC. His best asset is his ability to negate all other abilities except for Mimikyu, which I really think is a big deal, is a bug, because Mold Breaker doesn't negate it. That's a good point. Maybe it's a bug. He said it's good against Justified Beat Up, against Weather Teams, Intimidate, and it's also really good against Scrafty and Hydreigon, and Whimsicott, because it hits all four of those, all of those Pokemon for 4 times damage. So, this is the set that he ran. Like, basically what he just said. I don't really have anything to add to it. Bold is here because you get the most points for using Bold. And then, yeah, max HP and max special defense to increase survivability. I do feel like, so, spoilers, on 2 of these sets I don't run Protect, but I do kind of feel like Protect, if you're running Neutralizing Gas, is really important. Being in control of whether or not you use abilities is a big deal. So, yeah, Will-O-Wisp is an amazing move. Unfortunately, like, well, on the one hand, it's not amazing because, like, Weezing is so slow, and so it's hard to burn stuff. However, if you, like, Will-O-Wisp is really good in this format because it's such a physical format. So, I really like Will-O-Wisp here. Yeah. Next up, we have Misty Seed Weezing. So this is a set that I came up with. And for reliability, I definitely meant to have Misty Surge. That's my bad. So yeah, Misty Seed Weezing is actually really, really bulky because it basically is running an Assault Vest, but it can run Pain Split and Protect. So this is a set that if you deal with the ground type Pokemon, if you have okay physical support, like this is a set you can run with Intimidate, for example. You can't run Will-O-Wisp as a partner for this, or you shouldn't run Will-O-Wisp as a partner for this, I should say. But yeah, it's just like was stated by Lucas. The main point here is just be extremely, like, you're taking advantage of Weezing's other abilities. So if you have other Pokemon on your team that benefit from Misty Surge, for example, like Dracovish, if you have like Scarf Dracovish and you want to protect it from Dragon type moves, this is a good way to do that. This is one way to do that because it cuts Dragon type attacks in half, and also threatens Dragon type Pokemon in general, and fighting and Dark types as well. So the idea here is that Weezing is pretty good. It's pretty annoying overall just if it just sits in the field, because although it's not very strong, like if you don't remove it quickly, like the damage adds up, and especially in a format that currently is being pretty offensive. This is pretty cool. Yeah, this also protects the partners from status, so if you're tired of like Tyranitar getting burned or something, this is a good way of protecting it. And terrain is not very common anymore and on the setters because now we can set it manually. So yeah. In theory, you could also run this with Neutralizing Gas if you wanted to Dynamax your Weezing and then like use Strange Steam, or if you wanted to have a partner use a Fairy type move to set Misty Surge, Misty Terrain, but I don't think that's great. Next up, and this is a set that's not amazing. I think this actually should be Overheat now that I thought about it some more. So this set I think is interesting if you have a very offensive team and you want to use Weezing as an offensive Pokemon. You want to take advantage of its good coverage. The problem is that Weezing is not very strong, so while Scarf Weezing is cool, it's just not that strong. So like for example, we can pull up the calc and pull up Excadrill in the calc, and we can see that even with modest max special attack, that's not what I wanted. Overheat doesn't always KO Excadrill. Now, of course, you could pair this with a different Pokemon, like something with I don't know, like Dragapult with U-turn, and you could U-turn and Overheat in the same turn and get the KO. So it's not like impossible, but it's not that strong. It is good against like things that hits really hard though, like Thunderbolt Oko's Gyarados. Sludge Bomb obviously is going to Oko Whimsicott. Strange Steam. Is that in the game? Is that in the calc? Strange Steam, it is. Thank you. Against like Hydreigon's going to do like a ton of damage. Obviously, you get Scrafty as well. Like it's good if it's hitting things for super effective damage. With the type coverage, it can hit things for super effective damage. It's actually stronger than I realized, because you turn off the sand if you lead it, so it's not perfect, but I do think that it has some usage. This Weezing, I think mainly you use it not to support the team, but to support itself. Like using Neutralizing Gas to stop Sand Rush, to stop sand from going up in the first place, to stop lots of things basically, like weather in general, and yeah, I mean you do get the Oko on Lucario, which is nice, although I guess most of the time they're Dynamaxing turn 1 anyway, with Overheat, but yeah, I mean it's not terrible for sure. It's just I think that Protect is really good on Weezing, but again, stuff to experiment with. And then lastly, I think I actually like this here. Same moveset, but on a bulky set and without as much special attack investment. So the idea here is you want to run Neutralizing Gas, but you want your Weezing to not be just like super frail. So yeah, Assault Vest is one way to kind of get around those issues. I don't know I don't know how good Assault Vest is. Again, I do really feel like Weezing benefits from Protect. But I don't know, like, I think that it has at least potential on the right team. So, again, Neutralizing Gas is just so good. It's funny to me that Weezing, who Levitate is one of the best abilities in the game. However, it's funny to me that Weezing's other abilities are so good that, like, I didn't even feel the need to, like, I don't really feel like you're running it if you're running Weezing, so that's funny. I do want to mention you could totally run, like, Iapapa Berry or Citrus Berry or something on this set as well. I kind of like Black Sludge personally, but, yeah. That's what Lucas ran as well to win the tournament. So, anyway, I think that's all I want to say. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Shout out again to Lucas, because it's really cool to win a tournament with a cool Pokemon and an underexplored Pokemon, especially at your first tournament, especially early in the format. So that's an awesome accomplishment, so I hope he feels good. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later for the next video. Goodbye!